Hey everyone, Noir here. Let's get into today's Reddit story.
She texted me, "I think maybe we need to break up." I caught her off guard by replying, "I agree. Your stuff will be on the porch in an hour." Seconds later, she panicked. Wait, I was joking. She was, I was not. I am a 31-year-old man, and I was sitting at my desk reviewing quarterly reports when her message came through. Vanessa, 28, had been pulling this stunt for months, but this time she had no idea how it was going to end. Her message read, "I've been thinking. I think maybe we need to break up. This isn't working anymore." I stared at it for about 30 seconds. I wasn't shocked or heartbroken. Honestly, I just felt relieved. She used this manipulation every few weeks, usually whenever she didn't get what she wanted. The last time was because I couldn't take a day off work to go to her friend's random Wednesday pool party. This time, though, I was finished. I replied, "I agree. Your stuff will be on the porch in an hour." The typing bubbles appeared instantly, disappeared, came back, and then the messages started pouring in. Wait, what? I was joking. Babe, I was just upset. Call me. This isn't funny. I was testing you. Testing me. There it was. She finally admitted it. I put my phone on silent and got to work. Not on my reports, on packing her things. For 2 years, she'd slowly moved more and more of her stuff into my place without ever officially living there. Now, I was undoing all of it. I started in the bathroom. Her 17 different shampoos. I still had no idea why she needed that many. Her face masks. The expensive hair straightener she insisted on buying. When I cleared out the medicine cabinet, it finally looked empty. Good. Next was the bedroom. Her clothes. The jewelry box she kept on my dresser. Those decorative pillows that only made the bed harder to use. The fake plant she swore made the room look better. Then the living room. Her yoga mat. The books she displayed but never actually read. The blanket that matched the room but felt like sandpaper. I grabbed the framed picture from her cousin's wedding. She looked amazing. I looked trapped. Pretty accurate. In the kitchen, I packed her specialty coffee pods, the juicer she'd used exactly twice, the fancy wine glasses she mostly bought for Instagram stories, and the air fryer she begged me to get before deciding it took up too much counter space after using it once. 45 minutes later, I was done. 6 boxes, 3 garbage bags, everything packed neatly and ready to go. My phone had exploded. 47 missed calls, more texts than I cared to count. Several voicemails I figured I'd listen to later for a laugh. I carried everything onto the porch, took a picture, and sent it to her. "Everything is outside. Please pick it up within 2 hours, or it'll be placed at the curb for donation pickup." She fired back immediately. "You can't do this. I pay rent." She didn't. She helped with groceries once in a while. By once in a while, I mean twice in the last 6 months. Then another text came in. "I'm coming over. We're talking about this. You're overreacting." It was a joke. A joke? Like when she joked about burning my vintage band t-shirts because I went to my brother's bachelor party instead of her work event. Or when she jokingly changed her Facebook status to single because I couldn't afford the Tiffany bracelet she wanted. Real funny. About 20 minutes later, her car screeched into my driveway. She jumped out before it had even stopped moving. Her mascara was already running as she pounded on my front door. "Open up! This is insane!" I answered through the doorbell camera. "Your stuff is on the porch. Take it and leave." "I'm not leaving until we talk." "Then I'll call the police and report you for trespassing. Your choice." She grabbed the first box she saw and threw it at my front door. Classy. Then she sat on the porch steps and called for backup. She put her mother on speakerphone. "Sweetie, what's going on?" "Mom, he's throwing me out because of a text." Her mom asked, "What did the text say?" Vanessa paused. "I kind of suggested we break up, but I was kidding." Even through the phone, the silence was loud. Finally, her mother spoke. "Vanessa Grace, you didn't." "It was a test. I wanted to see if he'd fight for me." Her mom let out a long sigh. "Come home. We'll talk." I didn't expect that. Her own mother was on my side, but Vanessa wasn't finished. That was only the beginning. Update 1. 3 days later, she completely lost it. The first day, she was in denial. The second day, she was angry. By the third day, she had moved on to bargaining, mixed with a little stalking. Her first move was the classic pregnancy scare. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I got another text. "We need to talk. I'm late." "Late for what?" "My period. I might be pregnant." I replied, "Interesting. You've been on birth control for years. Besides, we haven't been intimate in 3 weeks because you said I was emotionally unavailable. Birth control fails. Take a test. If it's positive, let me know. We'll handle everything through lawyers." You'd really make me do this alone. You broke up with me, remember? After that, nothing. No pregnancy. Then she took things to social media. She posted a crying selfie with the caption, "When you give someone 2 years of your life and they throw you out like trash over a misunderstanding." Her friends immediately filled the comments. "Men are trash. You deserve better, Queen." His loss? But a few of our mutual friends knew the truth. My friend Carlos commented, "Didn't you break up with him, though?" The post was gone within an hour. Next, she tried claiming I still had things that belonged to her. Her grandmother's ring. It never existed. A laptop charger. It was mine. Sentimental items. I replied, "Be specific." Then she said I owed her money. For what? I sent one final text. "Everything you left here was on the porch. You picked it up after throwing a box at my door. I have the doorbell footage. Stop." Then she took things to another level. She called my office pretending to be from my doctor's office with urgent test results. The receptionist transferred the call to my cell. The second I heard her voice, I knew it was Vanessa. I said, "Impersonating medical staff is illegal. I just needed to talk to you. This is harassment. Any further contact goes through lawyers. You can't threaten me. I know your secrets." "What secrets?" "You know. My browser history, football highlights, and cooking videos." She hung up. The most ridiculous part came when she showed up at my gym. It was 6 in the morning, and I was in the middle of a bench press when I noticed her talking to the front desk and pointing at me. A staff member walked over. "Sir, this woman says she's your girlfriend and lost her key card. Ex-girlfriend. We broke up 4 days ago. She isn't authorized. Babe, don't do this." I looked at the employee. She texted me saying we should break up. I agreed. Now she's following me. Security stepped in and escorted her outside. Her membership was flagged. As she left, she screamed that I had ruined her fitness journey. She hadn't been to that gym once in the 2 years I'd been paying for her membership. That afternoon, her friend Tiffany called. "You need to take Vanessa back." "Why?" "She's been sleeping on my couch and crying for 3 days." "Sounds like your problem." "She just made a mistake. Everyone tests their relationship." "No, healthy people don't." "She's threatening to do something dramatic." "Like what?" "She bought a plane ticket to her ex-boyfriend's city." "Good for them." "You're heartless." "I'm single because she chose to end the relationship. The whole ex-boyfriend story was just another attempt to manipulate me. She expected me to panic, beg her to stay, and fight for her. Instead, I blocked her everywhere and moved on. Update 2. 2 weeks later, things got even worse. The trip to her ex's city was fake. She actually stayed with her aunt 2 towns away and posted pictures online to make it look like she was somewhere else. Her cousin eventually told me the truth because even her family was tired of the drama. Then she hired a life coach. Actually, it was just a friend who had taken an online course and claimed she could help Vanessa manifest me back into her life. The coach, Serena, contacted me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, she wrote, "I'm helping someone from your past clear negative energy. Would you be open to a healing conversation about forgiveness?" "No. Closure is important for both people. Think about your spiritual growth." "I'm closed spiritually and you're blocked." After that, Vanessa started using our mutual friends. She began showing up at every group event and pretending she had no idea I'd be there. At game night at Carlos's house, she walked in saying, "Oh, I didn't know you'd be here." Carlos had literally told her not to come because I'd already confirmed I was going. The same thing happened at our weekly trivia night. Then she showed up at beach volleyball. The universe just keeps bringing us together. I left. I wasn't wasting my free time dealing with that. At every gathering, she'd corner someone and tell them how I had overreacted to a harmless joke. Eventually, people started avoiding her. Carlos told me she spent one entire party repeating the story to different people, changing it every time. Version 1, she made a joke and I threw her out. Version 5, she shared her feelings and I made her homeless. Version 10, I had planned the whole thing because I wanted another woman. There wasn't another woman. Unless you count my Xbox, which finally had my full attention now that my life was peaceful. Then she started waiting outside my office. She didn't try going inside again. Instead, she'd sit in her car until lunch, holding a sign that said, "Let's talk." Security noticed. Human Resources offered to call the police. I told them to wait until next time. Next time was the very next day. This time the sign read, "You can't ignore love." The police were called. She received a warning. I filed for a restraining order, but somehow she still found a way to top herself. She got a new boyfriend and sent him to confront me. His name was Garrett. She met him on a dating app, convinced him I was the bad guy, and told him to come straighten me out. He knocked on my door, trying to look intimidating. "You're Vanessa's ex?" "Yep." "You threw her out over nothing." She broke up with me, I agreed. She didn't like my answer. "She told me you were abusive." "Did she mention the restraining order?" "The what?" I showed him the paperwork, the police report, the doorbell footage of her throwing my boxes, and the screenshots where she admitted it had all been a test. He stood there silently for a minute. Finally, he looked at me and said, "Man, I'm sorry. I had no idea. She said you were the one stalking her. Run, Garrett, run fast." "I'm already gone. Thanks for the warning." He left. About 10 minutes later, Vanessa called me screaming. I didn't answer, but I listened to the voicemail afterward. According to her, I'd ruined her chance at happiness and turned Garrett against her. Final update. A month later, the restraining order was officially granted. Vanessa had to stay 500 feet away from me, my house, and my workplace. The judge reviewed everything: the text messages, the doorbell footage, police reports, and statements from my gym and my office. Then he looked at her and said, "Ma'am, you broke up with him. He accepted it. Everything that happened after that is harassment." Vanessa argued that it was all a misunderstanding and that I should have known she was joking. The judge asked, "Why would anyone joke about breaking up?" Her answer was, "I wanted to see if he really loved me." The judge replied, "That's manipulation, not communication." The restraining order was granted. Even then, she didn't stop right away. She sent letters through mutual friends. I returned them unopened. She had her mother call me. I blocked the number. She made fake social media accounts. I reported them. She even started showing up near places I was leaving, staying just outside the 500-foot limit. The final straw came when she applied for a job at my company. It was a different department, but the same building. Human Resources caught it immediately because of the restraining order. She threatened to sue for discrimination. The company's legal team shut that down fast. Later, I heard what happened through mutual friends. Once everyone learned the full story, she lost most of her friends. Tiffany made her move out after everything that happened with Garrett. Her parents started charging her rent after she moved back home. She was ordered into therapy after violating the restraining order. She also lost her job for reasons that had nothing to do with me, after failing to show up for work following the court hearing. The last time she tried to contact me was through a letter from her therapist asking if I would help with her closure. My lawyer responded that any closure would have to happen without me, and within the terms of the restraining order. 6 months later, life is peaceful. I've dated a little, but nothing serious. I focused on work, earned a promotion, kept going to the gym, and enjoyed a drama-free life. I replaced all of her decorative stuff with things I actually wanted. Now my place looks like someone actually lives there instead of looking like a Pinterest page. Last week I ran into her mother at the grocery store. It was awkward, but polite. She said, "I'm sorry for everything. Vanessa is working on herself." I replied, "I hope things work out for her." She said, "She knows the whole testing thing was wrong. I never taught her that." I nodded. "It's in the past. I'm moving forward." She smiled and said, "You're a good man. She had something good." "Had," I answered. "Take care." And that was the end of it. She tried to test our relationship by threatening to leave. I called her bluff and agreed. She expected me to beg, chase her, and prove my love. Instead, I packed her things and moved on. The lesson I learned is simple. If someone threatens to leave just to manipulate you, let them. If they truly wanted to stay, they wouldn't use leaving as a weapon. And if it's only a test, the relationship has already failed. My only regret is that I didn't end it sooner. Those decorative pillows really were uncomfortable. As for Vanessa, the last thing I heard was that she's dating a guy who enjoys the same relationship games she does. They test each other all the time and break up every couple of weeks. Honestly, they sound perfect for each other. These days, the only things I'm testing are new barbecue recipes and whether I can set another personal record in the gym. Both are going a lot better than any of Vanessa's tests ever did.